Hi, everybody. Todd Dammit Kearns here from Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. Took Heroes and Monsters. You're watching CMS TV.
Yeah, make that call today, you fucks. So how fun was that? Drew's a good dude, man. I like
That was really good. That was really good, man.
I like what you know what I like best, not just about Drew, but just in general. I like when we establish that they can swear early.
Yeah.
I like that I threw a fuck bomb in there like really quickly, so that Drew knew he could swear, and then he came right off the wagon of the, because I'm sure he's going into it. He's like, all right, don't swear, be polite, do the thing, and not swear. And then once I start with this fucking thing, blah blah blah, and then he's like, this fucking, he was totally loose, which I like better because then you get the real guy, not the, not the plastic guy that the label probably wishes that would show up. But like the band, like the guy, Drew seems like a good dude, and what a tour. Those guys in Texas Hippie, that's going to be a fun show, man.
Yep, that's definitely going to be a good one. And I'm with you. I like the record a lot. He was a really cool guy, a great interview. Man, I feel for him. It's that touring in this climate environment, whatever word you want to use, is an absolute bitch for established bands. But like you said, there's not many bands coming up, and it's for that exact reason that getting out there and being able to do it is so cost prohibitive that they just can't. He was very clear on the fact early in the interview when he mentioned, I've got guys that are all in. We've had all these lineup changes, and now the guys are all in. And he didn't have to say it. The guys in previous lineups, they saw what they would have to go through to quote unquote make it, and we're like, I can't hang. That's just, like you said, if people aren't buying product, it's not going to happen. So few people really understand what goes into this sort of lifestyle and this profession. They don't know that, when you see people at the merch table for a band like a Seven Stones, when they're like the opening band on a tour with Texas Hippie Coalition, every single cent that goes across that merch table might get them to the next town. Might get them to the next town.
Well, dude, we met up with, I don't know, were you part of this? I know Steph was, and I know Kelly was. I don't remember if you were too. But that first time that we saw Dirty Honey come through, and they played their set, and they were opening for Slash, and 3 seconds after their set, they were like running out to the merch table, because they knew it was in their best interest to shake hands and take pictures, and even with us, they didn't know us from anybody. They gave us 10, 15 minutes of time, where now I doubt they do that, because they've progressed a level to where, honestly, they probably can't do that now. There'll be too many people that would be at the merch table, and they wouldn't be selling any product. But at a Slash show, when they were the unknown band and nobody knew who they were, hey, we'll spend all day with you as long as you buy a T-shirt.
Yeah, yep.
And that's the thing is that middle. There's not a ton of money to be made. There's not enough money to get people from entry level to, I don't know, Motley Crue level or whatever, and unfortunately that's the portrait that so many bands paint for themselves is, well, we got to be the next Metallica. We got to be the next, and unfortunately in today's world, if you get to the, I don't know, Hailstorm level, you've done something.
Yeah.
And how big is that? And that's not that, to me, that's not that big. Is that huge? That's what, 5,000 seaters?
Anymore it is. If you think about it, you kind of alluded to this in the interview. The only tours you really see on a major level are legacy bands.
Yeah.
You Aerosmith, Metallica, Guns N' Roses. You're not seeing Texas Hippie Coalition, playing, at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse and stuff like that. It's just not. The concert attendance is down. Expendable income is down. Dude, I mean, I was looking at the ticket sales for the new Dream Theater tour the other day, and they're not good. I mean, I was really
Insert Dream Theater joke here.
Yeah. If you want to, I mean, but I mean, like, they're going out with animals as leaders who, the Dream Theater crowd knows Tosin Abasi, and that's the kind of stuff they're into. Devin Townsend, like prog fans love that guy, and then you get Dream Theater, so it's a really good package. And they've sold for the Cleveland show maybe 60% of the seats, and then.
And how big a place are they playing here?
Nautica.
So that's 5,000.
It's less than that. If correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's more like 2,500 or 3,000.
No, it's bigger than that. It's like 5,000.
I don't know, man. But I mean, dude, the place they're playing the next night in Newport, Kentucky, is. I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like, if let's say you make a sandwich for yourself, okay, and you cut it in half on a straight line, and you just take one bite right out of the middle.
Right.
That's the only part. That's basically what the layout of the place looks like. And the only seats that are sold are the entire front row. It's where I bought my ticket, and the little bite. I mean, it's got to be a few hundred tickets that have sold for that thing.
But Dream Theater, look, and I'm not trying to diss Dream Theater here. Shocking, but they did just tour.
Yeah, but their concert attendance has been down. And it's, dude, I've been seeing them since '99.
How was the attendance when you saw them in a few months ago?
Well, they had to downgrade the venue. They moved venues to a smaller place, and it's in all the bands that I've seen have been doing stuff like that. I mean, think about it this way: how many headlining tours have you seen Seven Dust do in the last several years? I can think of one, maybe two that were like a full-on thing. Otherwise, they're opening. Yeah. They're strictly going out as an opening act. Like, I mean, this next run, they're going to be out with Wolfgang Van Halen and Alter Bridge.
Right.
But they just don't headline. They're on their own very much anymore because the money is not there.
Yeah. No, and that sucks. I mean, and that tour, I'm going to go to it. I'll just tell you now, I'm going to go to it because I love Alter Bridge. I'm obviously friendly with Miles Kennedy. I like Wolfie. I absolutely love Seven Dust. Yep. Probably my favorite band of the 2000 era. I mean, I worship Seven Dust, so I want to go. But that being said, even that tour, that does not excite me as a show because I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen Seven Dust and Alter Bridge how many times? Or some version of it, or Tremonti. And I've seen Tremonti and Seven Dust. I know Tremonti had Wolfie in the band at one point, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think, so I've probably seen that too and just don't even remember. I just thought it was just the fat guy playing bass over there. But, I probably didn't even know because I really didn't care. But, I mean, just overall, it's like, that's just a group of friends. Might as well just add Nonpoint to the show and just make it the whole family out there, Yep. And that's not good either. Dude, there's a lot of weird shit going on with touring right now. Me and Toomey were talking about this today. Seems like the smaller bands are going out for longer than the established bands. Seems like Plush and The Warning just went out, or The Warning and special guest Plush, because The Warning's a zillion times bigger than Plush. But they're playing like 35 shows in 37 days or something, like a lot of shows. And then they announced... I saw I'll call it Perspective because we're not allowed to announce it till tomorrow, but I saw a Perspective lineup of a new Lamb of God tour that's 8 shows. And Metal Church announced their U.S. tour, which is like 8 shows or 10 shows. And it's like the little bands have figured out, because they make $1,500 a show or whatever, that they can make exactly enough to play that show to get to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. And they're going to come back making zero money. The big bands who, it's all they do, all these little bands, they go out on tour for a month and they go back and work at fucking Walmart or whatever. Just like Drew was just telling us that, they all have jobs. The big bands, they don't have jobs, so they got to make it go, so they can only go if they get the right guarantee. I'd imagine Lamb of God has to make $100,000 a night to do 8 shows, so that $800,000 minus agents and staging and booking and insurance and all that other shit. so that they come home with, enough money to cover them for the next 6 months or whatever.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's a weird, to me, it's the worst time ever for touring. It just sucks. And you're seeing bands play venues that, like you just saw Queensryche, and I know it was a great show. I don't even have to get a review of it to know it was a great show, but they're playing venues too small for Queensryche. Queensryche should be seen on a bigger stage, not necessarily the biggest stage, but you look at them playing. Where'd you go and see them? At McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, and it was about the same size as, probably held about the same amount of people as the Roxino, where we see them in Cleveland and Northfield.
Just 2,000 people, roughly. 2,000, 2,500 people. And when you compare that and you go on YouTube and you watch Operation Live Crime on a huge stage in front of 20,000 people, it's like, that's where that band belongs. Not on this list. It's great that you get to see them up close. It's great that you can see the spit coming out of Todd Latoure's mouth, but it's not appropriate for what that band's history has defined. And that's frustrating, Well,
go ahead. No, sorry. It's like I said, like disposable income is down. I mean, it's just, people always talk about inflation, but I mean, it does hit people, and it's, and costs are up. I mean, let's face it, some of these shows are astronomical in price.
Yeah.
Because they have to be. I mean, these bands have to say, well, in order for this to be viable for me to go out, I have to have this much money. And so the venue, they want to pull people in, make the liquor sales and all that. So they have to pay that. But if they're paying that jacks up the ticket price.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just this horrible cycle.
It is. It's a bad cycle. And speaking of astronomical prices, I threw you this text earlier today. I'm going to bring this up on the show as well. Okay. Now we're gonna swing the pendulum all the way to the other side here, and go with a band that's having no problems with the money and the expense of touring, but I think are fucking up, and that's Metallica. Now, Metallica kicked off the 72 Seasons tour. You and Brian on Talking Into Infinity, we had a nice discussion about the album. I thought that was a lot of fun, actually, us breaking down the album. And I don't think we all three agreed on like one song, but, we all had different takes on every song, which was interesting and fun.
Yep.
But the tour is now starting. And for those that don't know, it's a 2-year tour. It's pretty much every weekend for 2 years. But with the 2 years of the touring, it's every Friday and Sunday in a city. And you had to buy tickets for both nights. At least the initial ticket launch was for both nights. And I bought mine because I wanted to see Pantera. I'm going to Detroit. I wanted to see Pantera. And especially I was seeing those videos of Pantera in Chile or wherever, and it just looked really awesome.
Yeah.
The big stage, the big exploding fire-breathing Pantera sign.
Yep.
The whatchamacallit, the snakes from Trendkill all over. I mean, it just looked awesome cool. So in my head, I had the thought of, and I told you this the day I bought the tickets, I'm going to go and see Wolfie, I'm going to see Pantera, and I'm going to drive home from Detroit.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go the second night. I really wasn't that enthused about seeing Metallica again, especially because the last time I saw Metallica, they sucked. So I just didn't want to go necessarily. But then slowly but surely I got turned as I watched some old classic clips and even some more recent clips and seeing the big stage and the big screens and everything. It looked like it was going to be a lot of great fun. And thinking about then I'll also see the Pantera set with all the fire and stuff. This is going to be awesome. Fast forward to now. Metallica's record is out. They played the first shows on the new tour, the 72 Seasons tour.
Overseas, yep.
And now that I see the stage, I'm horrified. I'm thinking that everything I wanted to see, I'm not going to get. It just looks not good. And maybe it is. I don't know. I mean, I watched a bunch of video today, and there's I mean, the stage does have lasers and some things and, stuff and some fire, but it's boring. Look at this. And I'm going to put this up for anybody that has not seen this yet. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I'm looking at this and this is the stage. It doesn't look like a stage. It looks like a racetrack.
It does.
It does. And these guys are spaced out. So first problem I have with it, and I'll move forward to where you can see the band playing. They're spaced out so far apart that it doesn't even feel like you're watching a band anymore. Yeah. It literally almost feels like there's 4 different sessions going on around the stage. And I don't know if I don't dig it. And the snake pit is too big. This area here, which is the snake pit.
Yeah.
And I've sat in the snake pit on the Black Album tour. In Reno, I sat in the snake pit. And it was cool because it was probably about 50 people. It was just a little small little section in the middle. And there was like 50 of us just losing our shit.
Yeah.
That's got to be, this is a stadium. So how many people do you think that is? 2,000?
Yeah, it's
at least 8,000? At least 1,000, right?
Yeah, in the middle there, yeah.
Yeah. In the middle, there's at least 1,000. So if you're this guy sitting in here somewhere,
right,
how special is that seat?
That was the first thing I was thinking of. If you're the asshole right at the center of the Metallica donut, that is like you can't see anything.
Yeah, and to get in this spot, you had to pay probably several hundred to maybe several $1,000s to be in that space.
Yeah.
To be in there. So if you're this guy over here and you're still a mile away from anybody playing, what good is that spot?
Yeah.
That's the cool factor is gone. And to me, the cool factor, this is the part of what I thought was cool with the Metallica set was the giant screens and how they were showing like movie footage and different footage that fit the Metallica songs on the big screens. Well, they have these things up here in the top corners, like the 4 corners that are little monitor things.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all they have this time is just these, there's like 4 or 5 of them total. And it's like, okay, so it's not a full screen. It's just like a round thing, the size of a speaker, like of the speakers. So it's like not that big. And then you got this plain stage. And I don't know, this stage just, let's forward, I'll forward in a little bit here. Let's see if we can find some, like here, I'll mute it. But here they are playing. Maybe. I can't even tell if they're on the stage. Let's move to a different, there you go. Let's get to a spot.
That's crazy.
See, there they are. Here's Hetfield maybe. And this looks boring as shit to me, doesn't it to you?
Yeah, but that's one of the detriments to playing in a stadium as opposed to an arena. Yeah. In an arena, you've got a closed ceiling, so you can hang shit. But when you're talking about these stadiums, you may not. In a lot of cases, you don't have that.
Yeah,
and you probably can't run cables to like hold it's just maybe it's too dangerous or something. But yeah, this is just like
I'm not by any means at all trying to say that Metallica's not trying to give back to their fans. I think they are. They definitely spent $1 zillion building this stage.
Oh yeah.
They definitely spent, to put all the mics up and all the lighting and all the craziness that's with it. They spent a lot of money on this thing. There's no question about that. I'm just thinking it ain't very good. I don't care how much money they spent. Look, we've been looking at Kirk Hammett walking a half a mile here, and we ain't seen another guy.
Well, yeah, you're not going to. They obviously they have to choreograph who's going to go where, because you just can't you're not going to have Kirk just stand there the whole time because then the one side of the stage only gets Kirk.
There's James a half a mile away. Now that does not feel like a Metallica show to me when he's there and Kirk Hammett is, clear across the stage. Look at how far he is from Robert right here. He's far.
It just seems impersonal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. I think that's my issue with it. I understand why they do it. I mean, they're the biggest band on the planet, so you want to go out and you have to make it look like, hey, we're the biggest band on the planet. Mm-hmm. But you're right. There's something missing.
Yeah,
it's just not Metallica.
No, it's just four guys playing. Really, is what it feels like. It's too blown up or too big. It's almost like their vision was bigger than they are. Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. Hey, look at this shit. Robert doesn't even know if Hetfield fell off the stage, he wouldn't know for 2 songs.
Wouldn't that be great? One guy goes down, the rest just keep going. They can't even see him.
It could, and they might not even notice. Look, he's trying to get them both in the shot, and he can't do it. I mean, it's just I'm not feeling this stage. But even less feeling this stage am I for opening bands. Because there's no way Metallica's going to give Pantera the whole stage.
Well,
no way.
Have we gotten any footage of the openers? I think we got some footage of was it Floor
Jansen? Yeah.
Yeah, so we got some stuff from her.
Let me see if I can't find some.
The other band is what? Architects on the European run, if I remember right. I think it's Architects.
Or Ice Nine Kills or somebody.
That's the shitty night in America. 5 Finger Death Punch and Ice Nine Kills. Because the good night is Friday with Mammoth WVH and Pantera. But yeah, I mean, dude, they have to give the bands the whole stage because you can't just shut off. Oh, wow, I guess they could. They are Metallica. Like shut off.
They could say you could only go you can only go 3 fucking platforms over or something.
Yeah, right.
I mean, who knows what they're gonna do? I mean, that's the real question: is what kind of space are they gonna give them? Floor Jansen.
Well, and imagine if they do that, which probably it's what they're doing, and then you're on the other side of the arena, like you're looking at their backs all night long. That's all you get.
Well, that's my fear for Pantera. Is I'm up in the seats somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm up in the seats somewhere, and it's like, what am I gonna get? Am I gonna get a cool set, or am I gonna get
a bunch of asses?
Shit. There we go. Is this her?
Yeah,
I don't know if this is the Metallica. I mean, it's definitely no. This isn't the Metallica set. Hold on. Fucking shit.
You think it'd be easier to find?
I'm trying.
Yeah, it's too impersonal. Like I was saying, it's just if I'm going to a Metallica show, like let's say you're not a fan of watching Rob, well then you can look at Lars or James or Kirk, but in this instance you can't. If Rob's in front of you, you can't see all the way across. Like it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, like she's behind this guy here. Let me maybe move to a different scene or something. See, she's kind of near her drummer. I don't know where the rest of her band is. Well, there's a band guy over here somewhere.
Maybe
there's a band guy way over here. Maybe they are allowed to spread out somewhat, but
or one of them did fall off the stage.
Yeah, it could very well be. Because
I told you not to miss production rehearsals.
There ain't a guitar in sight.
Oh my god!
Drummer and a singer. Well, there's a guitar player over here, and there's the bass player over here. All right, she's making the stroll. See, this would suck if you were sitting in these seats up here. This would totally suck. You're just watching their backs.
And this is obviously filmed from the Snake Pit, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
So this is from ground level.
Yeah, this sucks.
And look how far. Like to our point about that dude in the middle a minute ago. Like this is kind of what you would be seeing, and this is not.
This sucks.
I mean, granted, it's like we know that with cell phone footage, you're closer than this appears.
Yeah.
But it's still like, man, oh man, you're not seeing a lot of this show.
No. And I think they are. If you notice, they're all staying in one place.
Yeah.
I think they're limited to probably from the drummer to the guitar player here. Oh, Jesus, this guy. Hold your camera still, Dick.
Yeah.
We're trying to watch this. Yeah, I this does not look like a fun show.
If you're Metallica and you're the biggest band on the planet, are you still pulling the whole "you can only stand here"? You're like, hey, you want to try and go around the whole stage? You go for it.
Honestly, I don't think they even have a clue. I think it's some stage manager or some assortment of stage crew that runs all that. I can't imagine the Metallica's coming out there going, "Hey, let's see what Floor Jansen's doing tonight."
Well, no, but I mean, like before the tour even starts, they would say, "Hey, give them this much space. Give
no way,
so and so this much space." Like,
no way they're even bothered with this nonsense. That stuff is definitely coming from some stage manager, tour manager, agency, whatever. Sure, the agency said, "Sure, Floor, you can play this show, $50,000.
Yeah,
Pay us $50,000, and you can be on our stage."
Right.
See, now look at these things. That's like a shot of the camera thing. I mean, that's nice, I guess, but that's put in there 100% so that because you're not going to be able to see if you're anywhere but the front couple of rows.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Yeah, if you're paying for a band on the level of Metallica, you want more than this.
Yeah.
You're not going to a show at the Agora with like Dirty Honey or, Greta Van Fleet or Queensryche or something. Like, you want that production, and you want, like you said, those big video screens and all that kind of stuff. And it's,
yeah, I'm not feeling this at all. I mean, at all. Let's try a different video. I just want to make sure that we're not just selling this on horrible video.
Well, and honestly, I mean, you have to worry about the set lists they're going to play too, because it's a no repeat weekend.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a completely different set list both nights. So when you're not going to get, Creeping Death and Seek and Destroy It, the stuff that the average fan wants to hear all the time. I mean, you and I are fucking sick to death of those songs, but like, you're going to get some of the worst trash ever. They're going to be pulling out B-sides from Saint Anger, and you're going to spend all this money to look at this boring ass show, and you're going to get like Sweet Amber or some some crap off a Reload or something.
Day one, they're pulling out Until It Sleeps.
Ugh.
Until It Sleeps was on the first show. I was like, come on, really?
Yeah, I just. By the way, what the hell is this? A guy in a tuxedo on stage with her? What the hell is that?
I don't know what this is about.
Oh.
I don't know that I'd have been thrilled. Well, of course, she's huge in that part of the world, so.
Well, she's huge right here, too, because she's pregnant.
Is she pregnant? Ugh.
Dude, I mean, can't you see?
Yeah, well, she might just be fat.
I was going to say, she didn't just get fat only in the belly area and everything else is normal. Like,
heavy drinker.
Yeah, nothing but beer.
That's right. Well, that's what I want to see, too. Pregnant lady in short shorts.
Well, I mean, if you're her and you're like, hey, Metallica wants you to open you in. Yeah. Yes, I am. Oh, aren't you 7 months pregnant? I'm opening for Metallica. Fuck you.
Yeah,
I'll drop the kid on stage. I'll drop the kid on stage.
I'll name the kid Bread Fan. It doesn't matter.
Bread Fan Jensen.
That's right. She's still I think she's one of the top 5 most trafficked interviews that I've ever done.
Really?
With her, yeah. Yeah, it did something like 100,000 plays or something.
What is this guy?
She must have. I mean, that's symphonic metal, so I'm sure there's probably.
That's true.
Well, I mean, we could turn it up and hear it.
What is this guy? There's metal in there?
All right, that's enough of that.
Yeah, I didn't hear any metal.
Yeah,
she
can sing her ass off, though. She's got a fucking killer voice.
Oh, she's a phenomenal vocalist. This just looks kind of weird. But yeah,
these people ain't even watching. She's not even looking at the stage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because these people, like, they pay to do this, and it's general admission, so they get there and they want to get their spot up front because they don't want to be that dude in the middle of the donut that can't see anything.
Yeah, this just doesn't look appealing at all to me.
No, it doesn't.
And for me, the just knowing that this is what I'm going to get for the Pantera show, that's really a bummer.
Yeah, I told you. If I buy tickets, it'll be to Detroit. It'll be for the Friday show, and I'll probably watch Wolfgang Van Halen and Pantera and go home. I saw Metallica one time. It was New Year's Day, I believe, of 2000 or 2001.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with Kid Rock and Seven Dust.
Yeah,
I was at that show.
It's just okay. Like I can't sit there and listen to Lars Ulrich. I can't do it. And by the way, no, this guy's walking around. Maybe they did give these guys the full stage because this guy is now basically made at least a half a lap around the whole.
Maybe they're just letting him go because they think he's an usher.
Metallica has no clue who this guy is.
Right this way, please.
Right. Look at this guy trying to rock out. It's like he doesn't really. You don't look like you're rocking, sir.
Yeah.
No offense.
Adolf von Hitler here. Jesus Christ.
Right.
He looks like a bald Adolf Hitler.
Oh my God,
that was that. Eeh.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. It's not.
I'm really, really disappointed now that I bought the tickets for fucking Detroit.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I should put these up. Somebody will buy them for more than I paid.
It's because of the whole in the round thing. I mean, they were doing stadiums before, but they had a static stage.
Yeah,
and they had those enormous the whole back of the damn stage was a video screen.
Yeah,
so that was kind of cool, you know.
Mm-hmm. See, here it is. When I see shit like this, it makes me want to stay home.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Somebody's been listening to you, John. I thought I heard John once say Lars is a great drummer.
That's my buddy Jimmy. He's a complete and total tool. Lars is god awful.
Well, he also says, and he's probably right on this, they must hate each other again to be so far away from one another.
Would you want to sit next to Lars Ulrich all night, banging away on the snare drum relentlessly? It's all that guy does.
If he was throwing six figures into my fucking bank account every night, I'd be like, Lars, great call tonight with those drums. Dude, I saw a video this week, and it was a guy. He replaced his bass drum with a keg.
Oh, and the baseball bat, yeah.
And the baseball bat
Yeah.
playing the fucking Metallica songs. It was
Lux
fantastic.
Eterna, yeah.
It was fantastic. I actually watched. I was like, wow, it really doesn't sound that far different.
Yep.
Than fucking, whatever that album is, Saint Anger. It really didn't sound that different, but
It doesn't at all. It does not sound different.